Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mishti Talk. So today we're just going to recap back on our New Year's resolutions, which were mostly this year we were focusing on our mental health.
And self-care,
yes,
personal growth has been a big focus from last year and also like carrying on to this year. So we're just basically going to see how we're tracking and just sort of expand, I guess on our thoughts and where our mind's at to date.
Mm-hmm.
On that topic, we actually came across this course that Harvard actually offers on positive psychology. So we'll just be referencing some tips from there and just sort of further expanding on that. It's actually a really good comprehensive list that's sort of applicable to, I think, anyone, of all ages. So I think the second one that I have here on the top 11 is believe in yourself and others. So what does that mean for you, Indira?
Well, believe in yourself. Yes, I can apply to that because you know that out of everyone in the world, hopefully you don't betray yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of what you do, what you're capable of, what promises you make for yourself. In terms of believing in others, I'm a bit iffy on that. It really depends who it is. If it's your close family and friends who you can really trust blindly, I could say, yes, I could believe in them. But if it's just, believe in this person and that Joe down the road, I honestly can't agree with that. But believe in yourself, I do. I practice that.
And can you like share an example of, I guess, how you've cultivated that like over the years?
Well, in terms of like my personal goals and my career goals, like there's people that have been like, no, don't worry about it, just give up on that dream, don't do this, don't do that, just do a 9-to-5 job, that's the way you should be. But I sort of resisted and I sort of believed, no, I can do this. So that I think that belief in myself is very strong. And yeah, that's just an example of how I don't believe in us. Really,
it takes a lot of willpower to, I guess, go against the herd and society and be like, no, this is what sets my soul on fire.
That's exactly right.
Despite the challenges and whatnot, I'm going to like persevere. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's more of that lone wolf mentality that I have. So it's like, like you said, don't follow the herd. Just go. Like a wolf doesn't have all these mates coming along with him. Do you know what I mean? But a sheep does.
Yeah. But I think also you have to surround yourself with people who are on the same path as you and aligned to your goal. That's a very big thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, personally, you can mix with certain people, but, with your aspirations or, ambitions, not everyone in your personal life are going to be aligned, like, to that.
No, but it does affect you. If the people in your personal life are not aligned to what you're aligned to, I'm not even just talking about career, I'm talking about everything, alignment.
Yeah, of course.
Then the problems do arise.
Yeah, look, you do obviously outgrow people, over time, and that's very, very natural as you go through different phases, of your life. And, we've touched on this, on previous, topics, as well. So, I think for belief, in myself, it's, the way I interpret it is, despite, the opinions of, others sort of out there, have that conviction that you're worthy, but you're capable, that it can happen, you are deserving of amazing things in your life, personally, professionally, whatever it is. And you don't compare yourself constantly to other people. It's okay to have role models and mentors in your life and have them guide you through your journey, but in terms of just wasting so much of your precious time scrolling Instagram or Facebook and wishing you could be like someone else living their life, I think it's a complete sort of waste of time. So I think that having that conviction is a very, very big part of just being happy and content in your life.
And I think I agree with that, and I think it's also a part of growing up as well, because you find that if I look at my younger self, I was more worried about what my friends were doing or if they would do this with me or that with me, whereas now I really couldn't care less. I just want to do what I want to do.
Yeah, you're on your own journey, on your own path.
That's right.
So you kind of outgrow that, and that's the way it should be. Now, number 3 on the Harvard's list is learn to fail or fail to learn.
Yes. I've fallen many times, like many times, and I wouldn't say, oh yeah, I'm proud of failing, but like you said, like social media only glorifies the victories and the winnings. No one puts it out there how many times people fall.
Yes.
I've fallen a lot of times, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I've fallen in terms of my professional life, my personal life, everything, financial life. But that fall has taught me how to grow, how to get up, and how to rebuild myself. And I think those falls that I took were very important in my growth process, because if I didn't fall, I would just be very mediocre.
Yeah, you wouldn't have any life lessons or experiences to grow from. So I think the biggest thing for people is that they need to accept that failure is part of the journey. That's the biggest thing, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it.
No.
The most successful people out there have failed many times before they've gotten to where they've gotten to. So if something doesn't work for you, try it like another way, or try something different and keep going.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is to keep going. Take away the lessons and, keep like moving forward.
Yeah, and if you have to fall, just fall again. Just fall gracefully and just get back up again.
It's really hard to put it in practice, especially coming from our background, because we're really sort of taught from a young age, failure is not an option.
No.
You have to go through certain phases of your life, and it's all about putting success out there, and so it's a really hard thing to shake. Like, I think
it is
for us, like personally, I don't know about you, obviously your parents.
No, I
very
agree.
Similar.
I agree.
And both obviously our dads, being academics, as well. It's sort of a hard thing to break out
sort of impress them, and it's also, you're always constantly reminded of each failure in your life along your journey, even though you've learned from it. Our elders, our friends and family,
they will like bring up that one thing from 10 years ago and be like, play it safe, don't take a risk, and without risk there's no reward.
That's right.
At the end of the day. So I think like putting that into practice and just really accepting that failure is part of the journey is very important.
All right, give me one more.
Now, this is a really important one actually. Give yourself permission to be human.
So in my sort of understanding of that is, give yourself permission to make mistakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Give yourself permission to have breakdowns. Give yourself permission to cry. Give yourself permission to have alone time. Give yourself permission to travel, the freedom. Just give yourself permission to be you and not worrying about what other people do.
Yeah. For me, what I take away from that is, being human means you don't have to have it together all the time. Even being a strong person, you're allowed to have your weak moments. You're allowed to sort of like curl up and cry, or as long as you sort of pick yourself back up and keep moving. You don't need to put on a perfect front 100% of the time. That's what being human means. You're going to have a spectrum of like emotions. You're going to go through ups and downs in life, like a roller coaster.
Exactly.
And you can just navigate like as best as possible as you can. So anything that has a human element to it is prone to like mistakes or and whatnot. So I think that's a really big thing.
And I think that's
cut yourself a break.
And that's when you really find out who your true friends and well-wishers are, those who really love you. Because when you have those breakdowns, you see who's actually beside you. You don't want to see who's beside you when you're successful and have lots of money and you're really, on top of your game. You want to see who's with you when you've hit rock bottom, when you're depressed, when you need people beside you, when you're crying, when you need that person to be like,
that be your rock for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And also accept you for who you are, for your flaws and all.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Everyone can be there when things are on the up and up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're all there.
Yeah. But accepting you for your like flaws, I think that's also a really big factor.
Yeah.
Let's see what's next on the list. Open up. So many either write in a journal or speak to someone. I think this is really important because again, this sort of comes back to a lot of people really internalize a lot of things and put on or feel the need to put on a picture perfect front. So how do you sort of put this into practice in your life?
Well, I do actually internalize a lot, like my personal problems and all of that. I keep it to myself, although it looks like I'm sharing it with the world. I actually don't. Like my personal things, if I'm going through hard times, I do internalize it. So I think I do need to definitely work on that one. Maybe not speaking to someone about it, but I think if I write it down, it will help me sort of, I used to do that, but it wasn't a regular practice, so it's something that I could work on.
So you do journal, like you?
I mean, I used to on and off, but it's not a regular thing. So I think that's something I need to make a more of a habit.
I think it's a work in progress, like for everyone at all stages of their life, and we've all been, guilty of like internalizing or not opening up or trying to deal with things on our own.
Yes.
Again, there's no shame in opening up and asking for help, from people, or just talking about something and just to sort of get a different perspective, on it. So I used to write a lot when I was in high school.
Yes.
Especially with my best friend at the time, just actually write a journal to each other, even though we see each other every day.
That's
but
really
it sort of really helped, just to put your thoughts and into words. Very powerful. But now, obviously, I have good network of friends who I can feel comfortable speaking to without feeling judged about certain things in life. And I think that's really important to have those friends, a friend, or how many other people. I think that's really important to be able to be vulnerable with someone and open up and trust them with your deepest, darkest secrets without them pointing the finger or saying something to you. So I think if you don't have that someone, maybe look at counselling or therapy or whatever it is. But I think that's a really big one. Being vulnerable in life does not mean you're weak.
Not at all.
Actually shows strength, if anything else.
You're allowed to cry.
Absolutely. Now, number 6, cultivate the merit finder. Express gratitude.
Yes, I always do this. Every day before I go to sleep, I'm always, doesn't matter how hard the day's been, I'm always thankful for 3 things that, that make my day or that make my life, and it makes things much better. It puts life into perspective.
Yeah. It's something you do daily, every day?
Yeah, every day. So you might be going through something at work or in your personal life or something, and it might be the end of the world for you, which is what it is. You know what I mean? Everyone's problems are big to them. But then I put it into things going, okay, that didn't work out for me, but at least I have a roof over my head. At least I've got food. At least I've got a good supportive network of friends. At least I've got just
family.
That.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel much better as well.
Yeah, I think it's really difficult to practice gratitude. It's really easily said. There's so many quotes out there, be grateful, practice gratitude, but putting it really into practice is a very, very difficult thing. Everyone is always sort of harping on what they don't have, what's lacking in their life or what's wrong, looking at things glass half empty. So it's a really, really difficult thing to put into practice, but you need to condition your mind just to be okay, put my problems into perspective, like you said. This whole bushfire crisis that Australia has been, completely scathed by. It's just so heartbreaking, all the animals that have, lost their lives and homes that have been lost. And, even till now, people still rebuilding. They don't have proper running water. In Australia, people not having proper running water is just, to me, absolutely, mind-blowing. So, those things I'm okay, stop complaining, Jinnie. Stop harping on your first world problems, and it's to be grateful that you still have a roof on your head. You've got food, you've got access to clean water and things like that, and internet.
Yeah, but having said that, don't belittle your problems either. Your
problems of course
are
not.
very big for you at that time.
Absolutely,
in life. Yeah.
absolutely. But don't let it, I guess, consume you and overtake you. So amazing. Now, number 7, simplify.
Yeah, I sort of take that in terms of decluttering, simplify everything, in terms of my friendships, my wardrobe, my life, my laptop, my emails, everything. Just sort of make it simple, and you'll have more time. Everything I think that a cluttered area leads to a cluttered mind. So I think that's what it means for me.
Yeah, that's a really good analogy, and I think it is a psychology that has been proven. If your house or your room or your desktop or everything is just a complete mess, that's going to translate into your thought pattern and how you live your life and how you manage certain things. So I think that's and people do sometimes make things more complicated for themselves than it really needs to be. Whether you're overthinking something, constantly harping on an issue or something so small, just take it, and just take a different approach to it. Take a deep breath and just be okay, how can I, you know, sort of like break it down and, you know, tackle this sort of like another way.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, the next point on the list we have is cultivate relationships. I think that's a really important one.
I'll let you go first on that one.
On that one, cultivating relationships. Yeah. That I think it's really, really important to me, you know, nurturing certain relationships like in your life. I think that's absolutely crucial to your mental, physical well-being and, you know, ultimately, obviously, you know, your happiness. With anything, you get out whatever you put in. You know what I mean? So with any relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, a business relationship, if you're not sort of nurturing that relationship or investing the time and the effort, then you can't expect, you know,
to get the returns.
Yeah. No matter how busy you are in your life, you will make the time for the things and the people that you want to, period. I really stand by that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And if the other side, like your friends, family, business relationships are not putting in the equal amount of effort, then you sort of need to drop that. It doesn't matter how mean or whatever it sounds, it needs to be equal give and take.
Yeah, well that again comes to, you know, simplifying your life and decluttering, you know, your problems. So now we're going to just go for like one more.
Yes.
So number 9 on the list is remembering the mind and body connection.
That's very, very important, because I think that sometimes, especially in this day and age, we're very consumed by the aesthetics, the outside. So like more like the physical body.
Yeah.
And we sort of neglect the mind, and we might be over sort of consumed in different sort of activities. Like it can be like, you know, social media. It can be like, or it can even be somebody that's really, really fit, that's going to the gym, that's going doing exercise, play sport, whatever. But their mind is totally not in it.
Yeah.
Like it needs to flow simultaneously.
I think we see that a lot more in this day and age, where people are, you know, placing a lot more importance on the aesthetics, on the physical, and not really focusing on their mental, like, well-being. So again, like, sort of that comes back to your personal, like, you know, growth. So personal growth, self-care is all about nourishing your mind, and there is a direct correlation with your mind being not at ease or stress. Stress, anxiety is the biggest cause of so many sicknesses, illnesses, and, you know, I've like personally experienced that when, you know, I've had so much stress at work or my personal life. My body has just been shut down, or, you know, like it's just not operating like, you know, at all. I'm sluggish, like have no energy, you know, aches and pains like everywhere. I go, I'm not 100 years old. Why do I feel like I'm 100 years old? And that's a direct result of my mind just not being right. Yeah. So we cannot like stress the importance of taking like some time out, like for yourself, like once in a while, like whatever it is, have some activity or an outlet, you know, that breaks like your mundane like routine and whatnot. You know, mix it up, like whatever it is. I think it's really important to, you know, spend that that time like for yourself.
And that includes eating really well and hydrating yourself.
I could do better in that department as well. Well, hope that has been really informative and helpful. Thank you so much for tuning in on another episode of Twomishti.
And we hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.